Hello guys, today I'm going to be talking about my Premier League predictions. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. So I'm not probably going to do placements, I'm just going to figure out who's going to replace, who's going to get relegated, who's going to get top 6. So first off, I'm thinking the people who are going to get relegated is probably people who are the top 3, bottom 3 right now. Cardiff, Fulham and Huddersfield. I feel like Burnley have enough to stay in. Because like, after their performance last year and getting top 6, I feel like they can still carry on that momentum to not get relegated. However, Cardiff, they've been performing well, but it's just not well enough. They were never Premier League standard, and it's sad to watch them go, but they're gonna go. 1 year is good enough for them. The next one is Fulham, which, come on. And then Huddersfield, they did well last season to stay up. They tried hard, but it's just they haven't got enough players. With Aaron Moy being injured for most of the season, it's difficult. And now I'm going to move on to the top 6, I'm going to say. So I feel like Chelsea, the top 6 will go through. Man City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea will all get in the top 6. Just for the fact of that, some of them haven't even had good seasons. But it's just, they are strong clubs, and I feel like they will be able to get into the top 6. Apart from that, I feel like most of the table will stay the same, and it was quite good. Some of my reactions on the transfers is quite interesting. Like, there are transfer rumours of Santiago Escobar to Manchester City. I haven't even heard of him. But a good one I could say is Isco to Tottenham. He would be a very good firepower for Tottenham. Tottenham are starting to drop down in their rankings and quality. So I feel like if Isco was able to join Madrid, he would be the firepower they needed to excel into better and become title contenders again. Yuri Tillemans, I don't know whether he's joined Leicester or he's going to join Leicester, but he is a very good player and he was a very good young player back a few years ago. He was very strong and he was a very good midfielder for Monaco. And it's just when he played for that Belgian player, he was very good. I think it was Anderlecht. Yes. I hope Leicester buy him or someone buys him because he was very good. For who's going to win the title, it's always been this, Liverpool or Man City. Man City or Liverpool. Who will know? No one knows. But I predict that Liverpool will prevail. They've got the easier fixtures. Man City haven't got the hardest, but that Manchester United game should really trip them up and lose their momentum. I do think it will be tight though, only a point, but it's very good and I hope they do well. However, for top goal scorers, it could be very tight, as Sergio Aguero is right now at the top with 18 goals, but Aubameyang, Harry Kane and Mohamed Salah are just behind him with 17, and Sadio Mane is behind them with 16. I don't know who's going to win this, but looking at the facts, it's going to be tight. For assists, I think Hazard will take it, as he's on 11 already, and as he's such a good player, I think he'll be able to carry that on. Well, for goals and assists, Hazard is also up there still with Aguero with all 24, and Mohamed Salah also with 24, and Raheem Sterling also with 24. Obviously proving that they are the best people around. And I heard something about Raheem Sterling maybe becoming one of the best youngest players still. And he has been very good for this part of the season. While players aren't playing as well as they normally were for most of it, Raheem Sterling has kept playing consistent. Ian Wright said, players are being dropped and players are being moved around, but Raheem Sterling is always in the side. You can see this by the amount of skill he has. and the amount as after on Saturday against the Southampton scoring a hat-trick and in under 13 minutes, that is very strong, and I feel like he will be able to go far. And if he is still part in the youngest player of the year award, he'll probably win it, just for the fact of how well he's been playing this year. Let's move down to the Championship now. Now, I think it's nearly an all-man's game here, with Norwich on 72, Leeds on 70, and Sheffield on 68. Them three is all games to play, but I feel like even in the top six, they could all get through. I feel like in the promotion playoffs, though, Sheffield United could come on top, also with Middlesbrough. But however, I think Sheffield United would overtake them, just with the fact that they have more points right now, so they're obviously having a better season, and I think they'd be able to cope under the pressure. However, if Bristol was able to get through, I feel like they would be able to do stuff as well, as they were able to face off Man City and only lose 1-0 in the second leg. That could be proving very well in second leg games, as they did very well against Manchester City to hold them off to only a 1-0 win in the second leg. For relegations, I think it's already been proven in the Championship, as Bolton and Ipswich are still on very low points after 36 games. However, Rotherham could still get in, as they're only a point off safety, with Miller being on 34 and Rotherham being on 33. Yeah, I'm just gonna say right now, subscribe to It's Crispy Chris. He's a very good YouTuber. He's very enthusiastic. What else can I say? He's very good. He's a very dedicated YouTuber. He's given me an intro, so he deserves this. Thanks, Chris. Now I'm going to go a little different here. I'm going to go to the Scottish Premiership, for once it's slightly tighter than normal. As Celtic are only, you wouldn't think this, only 8 points clear, which is very strong for other teams, as Rangers are catching them up. Celtics haven't had as good season as they've had originally, but they probably will still win it. But it's good to know that it's still an all to play for. What I'm going to say is when I get in the bush, don't judge me. Now moving on to League 2. Actually, I'll do the FA Cup. The FA Cup's been very fun with a few upsets and a few ears and theirs, but it's very fun. I would say it's not as good as it's been from others, but it's quite good. Like, of course, Manchester City looking like favourites like always, but I don't know. Other teams can still play. Like last year, Wigan knocked Manchester City out of the FA Cup, which was a scare for all of us. I just wish they went on and finished and won it, but at the end of the day, that's just a fantasy. However, with Watford, Crystal Palace, Swansea, Man City, Wolves and Manchester United, Millwall and Brighton in, it's still anyone's game. As Crystal Palace and Wolves, Millwall and Brighton, loads of people can get to the longest they've probably ever been in a long time. It's very fun to know. Interesting for the top goal scorers because they're Padraig Almond from Newport County is still the top goal scorer, and then another guy, Connor Jeggings, with 4 goals for Tranmere Rovers, both in lower leagues and still not in this area, and I don't think they were in the round of 16. No, Newport were. But it's sad to know that no big teams apart from the Championship got through. But it's also good to know that some people from the Championship got through, and that there's only 2 big teams left, I put in quotations. The final thing I'm going to say in this is the Champions League, which I think has been very good for the most of the duration, with Tottenham, Ajax, Porto and Manchester United already through. It's looking good, especially after the 4-1 smashing by Ajax, which I think was well deserved by them. The next 4 games to come is Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Manchester City and Schalke today. I feel like I just feel that it'll be a very strong game, and I feel like Atletico Madrid will win their tie, as they've already got a 2-0 advantage. It's at the Allianz Stadium, apparently, that's a lie. But yeah, so I feel like Atletico Madrid will win it, as their firepower would just seem overall stronger than Juventus is. Even though with the power of Ronaldo, I don't think they'll be able to come back from the 2-0 loss. And then the Manchester City and Schalke game. A lot of people have been skeptical about whether Man City will be able to hold it. I feel like they will be able to. But that might be me because I'm a biased and I'm a Man City fan. However, it just seems like they'd be better off, as after bringing back that comeback, they wouldn't want to lose it again like they did back against Monaco. But yes, I guess they would have a thing against this. I guess against Monaco, they did lose a 2-0 lead. But hopefully they'll be able to retain that lead and go through. As I feel like Man City are just a higher area above Schalke, as Schalke seems to be a second grade team over Man City, who are a first grade team. Some people disagree with me, but I feel like that's just my opinion. Yeah, about the Jack Grealish punch? I sure did. That was quite interesting. I feel like, as much as some people hate Jack Grealish, I feel like at the end of the day, he should not get punched for it. And he did very well, and he didn't punch back. It's very tempting to punch back in those situations, but he stayed very calm and didn't punch him back. So I'm quite proud of Jack Grealish in that way, and that normally football players normally do that. So it's good to see a football player that doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. If you want to see more of these, please comment below. Yeah, and follow my Instagram, Gingy 2.0.